Hey guys, so I'm the writer and director for Way Down, and we finally did it. There's a long road going to getting Way Down into a film festival, but every moment was a learning moment, and it was worth it. Everybody goes through these struggles. It was my first feature film, so it was very naive of me to expect that it might get into somewhere sooner, but. Uh, I'm just happy that it's in. I did get letters from a few groups of film festivals. Not Fortunately, they weren't rejection letters, but they were letters from the lead programmers telling us very nice things, and they were encouraging us to keep submitting elsewhere because they felt confident in us. So that was very encouraging. Our the film festival we're going to is the Southern Cities Film Festival in South Carolina in Aiken, which I'm very excited for. I've never been to the Southeast, but I'm excited to be there. I've already got the plane ticket, got the hotel room. I'm ready to talk to everybody there, and just be excited to be around other filmmakers. Being from San Diego, there's not a lot of time that I was able to have to talk to other filmmakers. Mostly everybody just had their head down and working on their own stuff. So there's that long period of time. And during that period of time, you have your ups and you have your downs. And the thing that I want to talk about is that you just keep pushing and you keep working. Don't keep your head down and hope for this one thing to work out. As time went on, I eventually said I have a couple things I can control. I can control me, and I can control what I make. So while everything that I was waiting for was for Way Down, so the responses and feedback, I wanted to continue working. So I started working on a few scripts and kept moving. And then suddenly one of those scripts blossomed out into something that my brain kept obsessing over, and that became Silhouette, which will be in production by now, or it might be in full production in January. But yeah, it sucks. You feel like when it takes a long time like that, you feel like the world is looking down on you, and you feel like you can't do anything right. You feel like you're a shitty filmmaker, and you feel like nothing you make will come to light. There was a long period of time where the music was a huge problem, not because of rights or anything, but because it wasn't getting quite there where we needed it. And that was such a slow, long process that really kind of hurt the way that we felt, because we were so down on ourselves. But the thing is, it takes time. It does take time, and eventually everything gets done. And then once it's done, you move on, and that was a thing you learned from. I randomly tweeted to Daniel Destin Cretton, and that was when he tweeted back, it was randomly the same thing I was thinking now. He said, it all takes time. I know you might be feeling down, but just keep going at it, and eventually you'll move on, and you'll learn from it, and you'll make something new. So that cheered me up a bit, kept working, kept moving, and then eventually we got this letter from Southern Cities Film Festival, which, by the way, was kind of a jerk move, because their letter starts off with like, we've had so many contributions this year, and we were overwhelmed by how many people did it, and it was incredible how much talented everyone, which is, by the way, exactly how every single rejection letter starts. Every single one of them. And then suddenly, on its own sentence, without any paragraphs near it, it just says, "You got in." Oh, man. So how dare they? That was that's a long process from after you get your film made to waiting. The waiting game is the worst, and at everything, because you have nothing to do. So my advice is just to keep working, because there's nothing worse than being stagnant, even though you've just still got fresh juices and all that stuff moving through you. And so even when I'm going to Aiken, I'm still going to be working on Silhouette. I'm still going to be trying to work through it, because at a certain point you have to be a workaholic, unfortunately. But as long as you're excited up for it, as long as you're excited for it. So that's currently where we're at. We're going to be going to Aiken next weekend, and we're going to be showing our film to a lot of strangers, and that's very exciting. Personally, it's hard for me to believe 100% my friends and family. I can believe parts of it, but there'll always be some part of me that says like, oh, well, you're their nephew, their son, their cousin, their friend. They have to say that, and so it's always great when a complete stranger or someone who at least you respect their opinion because of how hard they are comes to you and says good things, and then gives you valuable critiques about it. So now this will be a time where I get to hear all of that and either be booed or be like, that was a great film, or that was a fine film. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, we'll be on our way that way next week, and then I'll probably try to cover that because I don't know what these videos are for. I think I'm just trying to talk through the process of Way Down and then putting it up here, and then just saying that like it was a hard process and you feel shitty, and hopefully everyone will just, whoever sees this will just see it and go, oh, okay, cool, I'm not the only one that feels really shitty about myself, because eventually it does get done. You just got to take time, and you got to focus, and you got to make sure that you do what you can for the thing you care about, which is your film and the people around you. So we'll see. I'll see you again next week.